Hey guys, Destined Balfire X Quad Strike here. We're back with another Halloween story for you. This time we have the Sickle. It's a terrifying and gruesome story about a murder that happens in a locked room and a mystery that remains unsolved. So, is that what you call a sickle? It's kind of the background of the background. Those wooden wall. This looks like that sickle is like like stuck in that wooden wall. But anyways, so since it's now never mind. So we all know is that it's October and that there's still a few weeks left until Halloween. I'm planning to upload a video on Halloween until yeah to plan a story on a Halloween story for Halloween on the 31st of October. So be ready for it. But anyways, so this is the Sickle. Enjoy. The curtains rise up on the theater of the abyss. A married couple lived in a small house in Japan with their son and daughter. The son was very angry with his sister, and wanted to play a really nasty prank on her. He decided that he would secretly videotape her on the toilet and then post a video online. He wanted to humiliate his daughter in front of his friends. The boy hid the video camera under a towel in the bathroom. Minutes later, his sister went to the bathroom and locked the door behind her. She never came out again. Her mother started to wonder what was taking her daughter so long. She banged on the bathroom door and called out the girl's name but got no reply. Worried, she told her husband, and eventually they managed to force the door open. But what they found inside the bathroom filled them with horror. Their daughter was lying in a pool of blood on the tiled floor. She had been stabbed to death. Her face was so sliced up that she was unrecognizable, and her tongue had been cut off. There was a bloody sickle lying on the floor beside her. Oh my god, that's horrifying. I'm gonna be honest. Anyways, the police were called immediately and came to investigate the scene. Inspecting the bathroom, they found that it posed a mystery. The door had been locked from the inside. The window was securely latched, and the bathroom was so small that nobody could have been hiding inside, lying in wait for the girl. So how was she murdered? The the police saw that the only possible entrance was a small vent in the wall that measured only 10 inches by 10 inches. Nobody could have fit through such a small space. The police were absolutely stunned. They could not figure out how anyone would have gone inside to kill the girl. The police carefully dusted the sickle for fingerprints, but unfortunately they found none. At this point, they felt that the case would never be solved. They questioned the mother and father, but when it came to question the son, he was nowhere to be found. They searched the house and eventually found him curled up in a wardrobe. His eyes were wide and he was sobbing uncontrollably. His hands were shaking violently. They noticed that he was holding a video camera. Unable to question him, the police decided to review the videotape. What they saw in the footage would terrify them for years to come. They pressed play on the video camera and the screen showed up a young girl. The young girl sitting on the toilet. When she finished and stood up, the police noticed some movement in the small vent behind the toilet. A tiny figure emerged noiselessly from the vent. It was carrying a sickle. The policemen could hardly believe what they were seeing. The figure measured up only 6 inches in height. The it jumped onto the girl's back, and before she had a chance to scream, it sliced open her throat with the sickle. Then it began stabbing the girl until she was dead. But the horror was not over. The tiny figure sliced up the girl's face and cut her tongue. Afterwards, the figure approached the video camera. The figure's face was that of a gnarled and wrinkled old woman. It looked directly into the lens and hissed, "You're next. You're next." Then the tiny figure disappeared back through the small vent, carrying the girl's severed tongue. After watching the videotape, the police officers wiped tears from their eyes. Some vomited on the floor, and one even lost control of his faculties and pooped his pants out of sheer terror. Today, the case remains unsolved, and the tiny woman has never been identified. The videotape still exists, but the police refused to release it to the public. It sits in an evidence locker at the police station. The police call this case. The police call this case the Sickle mystery and refuse to discuss it with the media. If you know it, guys, I'm getting the feeling like I shouldn't have read the story. Well, I'm kind of thinking about that. Yeah, that was one creepy story. I had to be honest. It kind of that's the case. It kind of happened maybe for 16 or 17 years ago. Yeah, 16 or 17 years ago. And even after today, imagine this case has never been solved. Imagine it'd be on the list about the many cases that were never been solved. Like people are trying to see if aliens are real. Like they've been looking like phenomenons, like like they see lights from the sky. Yeah, and but also even after those police officers that watched the videotape, they mentioned to this day they're still terrified of the videotape and promised to themselves that they would never watch it ever again, or to keep their hands away from the camera. Bro, now the more I think about it, the more I'm getting scared. But anyways, so that was the Sickle. If you guys enjoyed this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next Halloween story or riddle for you. Now the curtains closes up on the Theater of the Abyss.